The Last Jedi introduced a host of new starfighters, ships, and vehicles to the Star Wars universe. Today I'll be talking about all of them, and I'll keep it all spoiler-free. Most of this information will be coming from the film's visual dictionary and incredible cross-section reference books. Let's start in space with the Supremacy, which was the only Mega-class Star Destroyer in existence. At 60 kilometers wide, it was over a third the diameter of the Death Star, and over 3 times the length of a Super Star Destroyer. It had a crew of over 2.2 million and was armed with thousands of heavy turbo lasers, anti-ship missile batteries, heavy ion cannons, and tractor beams. It was the mobile headquarters of the First Order and contained within it the industrial capabilities of an entire planet. New weapons were researched, developed, and constructed inside its hull, including Resurgent-class battlecruisers. The RADDUS was an MC-85 star cruiser that served as the main command ship for the Resistance. It was originally named the Dawn of Tranquility as a part of the New Republic fleet, but after being decommissioned early, it found its way into Resistance hands. Admiral Akbar recommended the name be changed to honor the sacrifice of Admiral RADDUS, who is now confirmed to have given his life in the Battle of Scarif. Measuring in at 3,438 meters long, it was just over twice the length of a standard Imperial Star Destroyer. It was armed with 18 heavy turbo lasers, 18 heavy ion cannons, 12-point defense laser turrets, and 6 proton torpedo launchers. The Resistance was able to use automation so it could function with a skeleton crew. It was notable for its advanced deflector shields that could withstand excessive damage without failing, and even cover other nearby ships in the fleet. The Mandator IV class siege dreadnought, more simply known as the First Order dreadnought, was built to tear apart ground bases and capital ships. The 2 orbital bombardment cannons were able to punch through planetary shields without problem. They were larger than the Resurgent-class Star Destroyer at over 7,600 meters long. Crewed by over 200,000 personnel, it was armed with 26-point defense turrets along its surface. The new Resistance bombers were more technically known as MG-100 Star Fortresses. They were dedicated bombers originally commissioned by the New Republic. The tall bombing magazine, or clip, was normally armed with 1,048 proton bombs, but could be repurposed for cargo drops. Since there was no gravity in space, the bombs were electromagnetically propelled out of the magazine. In addition to the clip, they had 3 laser cannon turrets and 6 medium laser cannons, including the ventral ball turret. The bombers of Cobalt and Crimson squadrons were on a mercy mission delivering supplies to a system in need during the Battle of Starkiller Base, but they were able to return to support the Resistance retreat from Dakar. The new A-Wing starfighter was the RZ-2, the next step in A-Wing design after the RZ-1 used by the Rebel Alliance. Like its predecessor, it was best known for its speed, but it had a more streamlined design providing more stability as well as more powerful sensors and jammers that were useful in reconnaissance missions. Another upgrade was given to the swiveling laser cannons that were known to frequently jam on the RZ-1. The RZ-2 was much more reliable and allowed pilots to fire on enemies behind them. The TIE Silencer was a prototype starfighter whose development history could be traced back to the TIE Defender used by the Galactic Empire. It was a hybrid fighter-bomber that was fast enough to take on enemy starfighters, but carried enough heavy weapons to break through the shields and armor of capital ships. Armed with 2 laser cannons, 2 heavy laser cannons, and warhead launchers hidden away in the wings, the Silencer was the next step in First Order engineering after the Special Forces TIE. It also had experimental stealth gear that could baffle sensors and tracking. It was equipped with a shield generator and a hyperdrive, much like the prototype TIE Advanced X-1 of the Galactic Empire. Kylo Ren continued the traditions of Imperials Volt Scarus and Darth Vader as an ace pilot responsible for testing new starfighters before their large-scale production. The NINKA was the flagship of Vice Admiral Holdo. Measuring in at 316 meters, it was a free Virgilia-class bunker buster corvette. It was armed with 2 heavy turbo laser turrets, 4-point defense turrets, 3 heavy plasma bombs, and 8 heavy ordnance pods. The ANODYNE was a modified Nebulon C frigate, the next step after the Nebulon B used by the Rebellion in the Galactic Civil War. Despite being converted to a medical ship, the Resistance made sure to leave its military capabilities intact. At over 500 meters in length, it was armed with 10 heavy turbo lasers, 6-point defense turrets, 2 proton torpedo launchers, and could carry a full starfighter wing. The VIGIL was the Resistance's final capital ship, a Vakbior-class cargo frigate that was just under 500 meters in length. It was meant to be an updated version of the GR-75 Rebel transport that had more merit in battle. Armed with 4 laser cannons, it became a ship often used by pirates. The VIGIL itself was commandeered from pirates in battle. Resistance U-55 orbital load lifters were used for transporting equipment or personnel. They were unarmed and did not have hyperdrives, but were easy to maintain and operate. They could carry up to 60 passengers and could hide from enemy scopes thanks to custom baffler technology. The Resistance transport seen in The Force Awakens had a detachable cockpit that could serve as a small, unarmed shuttle. The remaining pod was little more than a B-Wing Mark II cockpit and a hyperdrive. The new Xi-class shuttle was reminiscent of the decades-old Imperial shuttles. They were small and lightly armed, which made them reliant on fighter escorts. Moving on to ground vehicles, the ski speeders used by the Resistance during the Battle of Crait were originally created for recreational use. Decades before the rise of the First Order, the Rebel Alliance obtained a number of them and adapted them for use as patrol craft on Crait at their secret base. Rebel mechanics outfitted them with 2 medium laser cannons and added as much armor as the rickety crafts could handle. Their history with the Alliance led Poe Dameron to dub the ski speeder squadron Reb Squadron. The all-terrain Mega Caliber 6 Walker, or AT-M6 for short, was built to be equal parts siege engine and psychological terror. Nearly twice as tall as the Imperial AT-AT, its reinforced legs could not only withstand the recoil of the massive Mega Caliber 6 turbo laser, but had reinforced armor that included cable cutters to address the faults of the Imperial model. The M6 turbo laser itself was designed to bring the power of a battleship to a ground assault and required its own dedicated power plant to function efficiently. The Walker was also armed with 2 dual laser cannons and 2 medium anti-ship cannons. The all-terrain heavy hauler, or ATHH, was known as a tug walker. Their purpose was simply to pull heavy loads through battle. They were heavily armored with interlocking plates and had 4 swiveling laser cannons to repel attacks from all sides. 31 articulated legs made them nearly unstoppable. Similar to the updated TIE Fighter, the First Order improved upon the standard AT-ST and AT-AT of the Empire. Visually, they both remained very similar, but their weapons and armor were more advanced. The Scout Walker specifically received improved stability thanks to new gyroscopic systems. Finally, the police speeder of CANTO BIGHT was a Cantonica Zephyr GF-134 jet stick class of speeder bike. They were nimble, easy to operate, and armed with 2 anti-personnel laser cannons that were usually set to stun, but could destroy another vehicle at full power. And with that, our list comes to a close. That's every new vehicle used by the major factions of the film. Which new vehicle is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. If you have anything else from The Last Jedi you'd like me to cover, leave your ideas there as well. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.